Are you my love? Are you my love? Oh, are you my love? Are you my love? My love. Ufuna bambe imoto, ayi be imoto. 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 Oh my love, ufuna waye lava, ngikwenzela konke, awukodukhetha umbukisa ngabantu. Oh yeah. Oh my love, ay, ayungo wami, awuthathongo wakho, ay. Oh my love, ay, ayungo wami, awuthathongo wakho, ay. Ufuna bambe imoto, ayi be imoto. Ufuna bambe imoto, ayi be imoto. Ufuna bambe imoto, ayi be imoto. Ufuna bambe imoto, ayi be imoto.
Parenting channel, right? So, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Do you want to say a couple of words?
Hello.
How are you? Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm not here by myself. I'm joined with T-Man on the hip. That's T-Man right there. What's up, Brody?
Hey man, what's good, bro? What is good,
What's
man?
good, man? Thanks for being here, man. You deserve
Oh,
it.
thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
Right, so,
Hey man, thank you.
You're a content creator,
Yes, definitely,
right?
100%.
So what does it mean to be a content creator in SA?
Hey man, it's your. I didn't expect such a question. What does it mean to be a content creator in South Africa? I think for me, basically, it's trying to make a living, ne?
Yeah.
Through artistic expression. You understand? By documenting our lives, and telling our stories. I feel like, yeah, that's what we do, man. We're trying to live or find a living or make a living, yabona, by doing something that we love, Yeah, South Africa and I feel like content creation is in its early stages, Yeah, it's very young and everyone wants to jump on it. We want to, everyone is trying to figure it out. So I feel like, yeah, at this point in time, it's just us trying to figure out the game of content creation and live that kind of life. Yeah.
Yeah, quick question. So when it comes to... Did you get the question?
Yeah, I can't understand that question. I feel like
you don't understand the language.
Need to repeat. Yeah, it's boring.
Please repeat.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Anyway, so when someone creates music, are they a content creator? That's my question.
Yes, bro. I believe so. I believe music is content.
Yeah.
I believe music is content.
No, so then we've been content creators.
Like, oh, okay. What do you mean?
No, because I mean, if you're how would you define content? Like in terms of the final product, like what would you say is content? Like the different types of content.
Okay, Sharp. I feel like I said, Guti, it's like an artistic expression, ne?
Yeah.
Content and there are different types, like you're saying. Let's say poetry, music, dance.
Yeah.
It's all part of content. Yeah, I feel like we've been doing.
And what about writers? People that write.
Right. Yes, because it's like
content.
It is content because you are literally taking an imagination and bringing it to life. And you try to express that thing. It's almost like storytelling content.
Yeah.
We're trying to tell stories. We trying to let people know what is happening. And teaching and informing, I feel like content is like that. It's to just fully express our lives,
Gotcha, yeah. Okay, so then would you then say that this new form of content, right? Because content creation is a new word. So would you say that it started when people started creating videos, right? Like, for example, if we're talking about blogs, there was a time, not in the distant past, but everyone created a blog online, right? And then there was podcasts, and then there was, and then there's video now.
Yeah.
And then there's live streaming, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also streaming for the young ones that can't even speak, but they're online already.
Yeah, man, they just, dang.
What do you want to say?
What do you want to say, sis? We listening, Mus. Just want to be busy. Yeah.
So I'm saying with video, the term content creation, when did it start? Or what kind of content basically gave way to the content movement, the content creation movement?
What kind of?
Is it, what type of content?
What type of content?
Gave that whole momentum or movement for what is now considered content creation? Is it when video came along, or was it when podcast audio, or when blogging was a thing?
Yeah, hey man, like I said, I feel like humans, in general, we are people of expression. We want to express. I feel like you remember back in the time up on Pamakon, so there's a time we're up on Ishala around the fire, and you tell stories. Some people would make up stories, older people, wiser people would tell stories, would tell parables, but in a form of a story.
Yes. Jesus did that.
So now, doing that, at that time, you had to be present. You had to be there. To catch the story, or use a siva, you'll hear the story when it's told again, and usually it's the same story. That's why I used to make up stories, because they will tell the same story. Now just come and be creative about this story. So now I feel like Wuti, it's that storytelling. Let's say, for example, it's me and you around the fire. We're telling stories, ne?
Yeah.
And then from there, we two of our friends come through and we tell them that story.
Same story.
Yeah, same story. And then over and over, let's say the story, people keep telling the story. And then suddenly one day, let's say a meeting or a wedding, some sort of celebration, and we need someone to say something. Like, say, Nona, can you tell the story? It will perfectly fit here,
Got you.
Yeah, so there were things like that. But okay, let's say in this instance, it's not a story, but a song. Yeah. So now it's like, sick boys, come sing your song. Nishai Kambo's dance and stuff like that. So I feel like that was some form of your content. But of course, there's technology, there's all of these things. Then a radio pull came through. Radio was first. It came in the radio. Then it was radio. People listening to stories through the radio. Now we can listen to Dobsonville. We can hear to what people are saying in Bramfisher. Damn. So now we have the same story and the same narrative. We can push the same narrative. What's happening in Joseph suddenly? What's happening in KZN and stuff like that. Then TV had to visualize what we were listening and to imagine radio.
To put moving pictures to it.
Yes. But now, if you think about it, that thing, usually, maybe let's say the first one was someone who came up with the story, who just made the story up. The second person wrote the story.
Yes.
The third person told, let's say in terms of reading, say this was the story. Then was like, oh, okay. Then now you reach in radio and stuff like that. And then someone decides, yeah, man, let's put a camera on this. Let's put a picture into this thing. Say act here, whatever is being there. Yeah. Well, so I feel like the content comes from long time, it's just entertainment and the form of expression. And now yeah. So now suddenly people are like, because it's like films. The film was someone's imagination, right? We sit together and we put a problem and we create a problem and then we create a solution also. And then we make a movie. How would you solve if they kidnapped your daughter? You know, what would you do?
I know that movie very well.
Yeah, except I'm gonna do this and then they put it
Taken,
you know. What would happen if you have to what was Rambo's what you call this thing?
No,
what was mission?
With Rambo, it was such a long time ago. I can't really remember, but but he was a hero.
Yeah, like why was he killing people? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, there was a reason.
Yeah, what was it?
I just can't remember, but I do remember also Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold. There was, I think, there was also a child kidnapped, and he had to go get that child.
No, that's not Terminator, right? The original Arnold.
Yes, Commando. It's Arnold.
Yeah, it was Arnold. But I'm thinking, why was he killing?
No, because there were people in his way.
What was he trying to?
No, but here's another question with content, right?
Yeah.
Only when video started. Say a few words. What do you want to ask our guests today? Okay. So anyway, when the whole video movement started, right? That's when people started associating themselves as content creators. Before, they were very specific that I'm a writer, right? Or I'm a producer or whatever. But now that everyone is, creating content, whether it's short or long form, whether it's professional or not professional, everyone is now a content creator.
That is true.
Anyway, I think for the last segment of the show, let's just dive into what you do. Or in fact, let's start here. Do you consider yourself as a content creator?
Definitely.
Okay, so what is it that you do that makes you a content creator?
All right. So I actually I express myself visually. I try to I use words to paint pictures.
Okay.
I solve problems and then put it in a video form. I just love telling stories, man. Even though in the beginning there's this crazy thing of trying to do what someone else is doing, but I would call myself a content creator because of Uti. I'm there now. I put picture. I put videos on art. I put moving pictures on art.
It's a bit of a
conundrum there. I understand.
Yeah.
It's most of the time it's because I like my form of content is documenting. Because I do stand-up comedy. I prefer documenting. It's harder to break through, but I believe if people are selling, buying, I finally get to buy your product or your personality, you are gone for good. Because I appreciate that, the honesty, the truth, the genuinity, So I feel like content creation, if you put picture on it, or you put a camera on it, you're content creator, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Quick question, right? So, journalists go to school,
right?
Dang. And even for other people that are authors, they have a level of understanding about language, right? And they probably know how to put together concepts and ideas. Even though, yes, it does go for, what do you call this, proofreading. But let's just say journalists go to school. People that create movies go to school.
Yeah.
In fact, the entire chain where they, deal with the technicals, they deal with the script writing, they deal with the production, and the talent, they go to school.
Definitely.
People who act go to school.
Mm.
Do content creators have a background of schooling? or is it a thing that you just pick up and you think, you know what, I'm just going to pick this thing up and call it a day?
Wow. Yes, I think now that you, very. Yes, we just scoop this thing from the top, ne?
Yeah.
And then we feel like this is the entire thing. But coming to think about it, it's actually I would picture it as making a documentary or making a movie. You understand? What you like, the way you are saying it to me. You definitely need, it's either you need the people who have the necessary skills, ne? Or else you find a way to fine-tune them and train yourself to do that. Because it's part of acting. There is acting in content creation. Writing.
Yes, there's writing, there's acting, there's production,
there's editing.
yes, there's editing, etc. Yeah.
You understand? And sometimes we want, and there's videographer, which someone who makes it,
Videography, exactly.
make sure how the angles and everything. And we wonder why our content is not appealing. Because you'll find out what Abanyamando, bro, they actually go through.
Yes, I mean, for larger productions, right? They would go through the process of hiring skilled individuals for each field. So they'll get technical people for everything technical. They will get anything that has to do with creativity. They'll get creative people. The ones that
Creative
do wardrobe,
directors.
the ones that do wardrobe, makeup, and so on, right? But then, do you think to be a content creator for anything? I mean, let's just say you're passionate about food.
Yeah.
Is there a level of education that you would have to undergo? That's it.
I feel like you should. There is, bro.
Bilo wants to go.
For no, mom.
You're done with this interview.
Of course, it's Mpilo's dad. Mpilo's name is there, so he must be acknowledged, sis. Except, you know what you are saying is it. What you are saying is very interesting.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you find out, Tukuti, we create content, but you have not even have basic skills or some kind of training. There is YouTube. Let's say, for example, you can't afford to go to school because of time. You know, but I'm a content creators. I cook, most of you. So now you don't have that time to go into that, but you can actually to go on YouTube and find videos on training on how to make production interesting. But we barely do that, do we?
Okay, let me also throw a curveball. Maybe we do, right?
Okay.
But now, do we need formal schooling? Because, I mean, there's many ways to skin the cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
The question is, would you say that we need like formal schooling in order for us to be skilled? I mean, we can go on YouTube. I mean, we talk about the fourth industrial age and yeah.
If school always helps, but I'm not gonna lie to you. School will always help.
Mine Theo. Ciao ciao.
I wouldn't say it's like the highest form of necessity or anything like that. But it's almost like when someone is making, let's say, cake, ne? You can watch a cake, let's say, or you can read my ingredients on how to make a cake, right? But there is a difference than someone who's actually did some formal training. You understand? They understand the basics before they start making it look more creative. Curves, how to make florals and how to make your cream last longer, or how to make your cream steadier so that you can actually use it to twist. You understand? And make it turns that is. There is that
training.
That training. You understand? That you need to go to that basic thing. And it helps a lot.
And you'll find that one thing, it makes all the difference.
It does, bro.
Because your cake end up tasting like, you can tell that, okay, this is professionally done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's like seasons, bro. Like a season, the weather affects your cake. You understand what equipments you are using? If you are using a plastic and if you are using steel, it it will taste differently. Because I do coffee, I make coffee. I'm telling you, before I could make portals, I make all the hearts, I could make all of these things. I had to understand the basics, and the basics of it is the first ingredients when you are mixing them together. So
obviously, when you watch content online,
yeah,
you want to replicate.
Yes.
But then you often miss the basics.
You often miss the basics because what you are seeing there
is the final product of something that has been done behind closed doors, or some kind of work this person did. You understand? And you don't see it.
And you just see one of the flair of it. Christian umbona seshaya penalty alibeke da alishaya ipalini goal, and you're like, damn, ngalishaya goal nami. But the nerves to be there, 70,000 people watching you, the whole world, millions of people watching you, the pressure of understanding what this is. If I miss this goal, you understand, my name, the name of our team is gonna lose. We're gonna lose the championship or whatever we're playing for. The team is gonna lose, and my name is gonna be on people's mouth. Do you understand that pressure? To be able to be there on that level, bro, on that scale, is not easy. You understand what I'm trying to say? So we see Amanda who are doing the content, they're jumping on, they're doing all of these things, and we think, let's set up a camera. You understand? Not hey, this is damn. Like, you don't understand what there is these things, bro. This basic thing, bro. You understand? How to keep people entertained when someone is watching your content? How do you keep them entertained? What is it?
I mean, what if script writers or producers learn about the human, like the attention span of a human, right? What if they learn about all of that, and obviously when they're producing shows, they keep that at the back of their heads or minds that, okay, so we're going to do something bland for a minute, but then we need a shocker to keep them shocked, you know? And after that, yeah, it's fine. We can do another small thing, just like, you know, create tension, release it. I mean, we often hear about it, but then do we ever?
No, bro, we forget. Like, even having conversation and they are talking for 5 minutes, you zone out. They are not funny. They are not interesting. They don't have facts. They are not informative. You have to be informative about everything. Highest comedians, highest pastors, or let's say top that I've watched, they are very interesting. They always have some question that they're answering. There's something you're gonna learn from them. There's a twist. There's a way they move their bodies. I watch these people, bro. When someone is talking, they talk to this person, then they change their bodies. The way they stand still at some point. Not too much movement.
Do you think that's subconscious, or it's something that
basic training
come with the training?
Basic training experience. Because you will lose people. I do stand-up comedy where you stay. The largest crowd I was standing was 50.
Yeah.
You can tell, bro. I'm losing my people because I'm not interesting. I've lost interest. I don't have a spike. I'm bland. I'm like this. I'm not informative. I'm not interesting. I'm not engaging. When someone is looking at me, they don't have a reason to do that. So now coming back to content creation, bro, I feel like those are basic necessary skills. And not because Timani I have an idea, a creative idea about a show, doesn't necessarily mean I'm the one who should be running that thing. Yeah. So now and the basics of that, when you're writing, okay, the basics, okay, I've been bland for 2 minutes. What's my spike? Where am I taking this? You understand? Videography. If a camera in me so, how does that affect the attention span you do?
Yeah, because with what's it called, cinematography, there are questions that also need to be answered. Why am I doing a close shot? Sorry, it's because I want to capture the emotion of the subject, right?
Yeah.
Why am I doing a wide shot? I wanna tell the audience that this is the background that the person is in, right? Where I can show everything. Why am I doing a medium close up? No, it's because I want to show just them and their body. But there's always a reason for everything, right? So I mean, if you're gonna start your content creation journey, whether it's stuff that is scripted or audio or video or art, there always has to be a method when approaching it, bro. And practice makes improvement. That's true,
100%.
right? So if I were to ask you, if one cannot get schooling, formal training,
Mm-hmm.
there are platforms out there. And do you think, one gets better with time, or it's best just to go to school?
Well, currently, Yabona, we're looking at the current wave, Yabona, of content creation. I don't think I'm not sure. Maybe you can go to the School of Arts, né? Because we did establish in the beginning of this show, in the beginning, né? Content before it was videoized, when you put on video form, it was people just expressing themselves, singing, dancing, talking, preaching, whatever they doing. That was it before. And then, did you know, bro, Uguti, I was watching this guy today. He swims to the depth of the sea, like to the very, very bottom. And then he would whirl like a manzini. So there is another video on TikTok where his girlfriend is like literally surfing him underwater. They jump deep down the water. Then this girl is surfing on top of him.
Oh, that one I saw.
You saw that
I
one?
saw it, yeah.
And before that guy took a camera for it to be shot, he had to go under the water, right? And know, okay, I can do this.
I can breathe for
this
much.
This is exactly. This is how much time I can do underwater. Okay, sharp. This is the kind of skill that I need. Okay, this is how I can maintain posture or composure underwater, not to panic. He did explain on one caption, when he dies, there was fear at times, but when he submits to his fear, suddenly his whole body comes down and his pulse starts to beat slower, and then now he can contain oxygen for longer and take time underwater. You understand that skill? Then he decided after this, like, damn, okay, let me put this thing on video, and then let people see, and then people are like, wow. And if you go back and ask this guy, when did you know? It's like when I was 2 years old, I was swimming. Now I'm 38.
And only now.
And I only 2 years started now to put it on video. I've been swimming all my life. So now to come to your question, what it is, skill or school, maybe at some point, because swimming, maybe you were swimming at school, ne? Giving the basics. How do you make sure you do not get tired? How do you go the long run, swimming, breaststroke? Which one is better? How do you relax underwater and just go to the surface?
Yeah.
Putting effort. Those were the basics, right? And then suddenly, he started swimming. Then he go to the sea. Then he started swimming in the sea. Then 20 years later, he puts a camera to it. So
he's been doing it.
Yeah.
It's just that now he's documenting it.
And I feel like what you're asking, bro, is very imperative to content creation, because we need to find a way to understand and be very, very honest with ourselves. Did I master what I want to put out there?
Damn, that deserves a horn, bro.
Did I really?
No, because you know what, my next question is pertaining that. Remember when computers became cheaper and faster, right?
Right.
There was a huge wave of producers or upcoming producers. For some of them, it paid off. But anyway, these producers started making music. They just download software. They download software and, for example, FL Studio or Reason or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they start making music. And then there was that whole thing of music is just not the same anymore, right? Because the people behind the controls are not experienced as the ones, right? Okay. So you no longer needed a studio.
Right.
So just as long as you had a PC and a microphone that could plug into your PC, that's all you needed. Right. And then there was a huge outcry that these new school producers are ruining music. But then in terms of emancipating or liberating everyone to do what they want, yes, PCs brought that era where you can become a music maker. Nice. The comfort of your own home, nice. Or with their laptop on the road. Okay, so now it's easy for them to make music. Cool. Now let's take that and put that to talk about what do you call this? Video.
Right.
Back then, yes, you would find a producer, writer, etc., etc. So now that there are cell phones and the cameras are really good, anyone and everyone can post a video. Anyone can dance and shoot content, right?
Yeah.
So, question now is, with the because everything has been democratized, right? Do you think that because we can point and shoot with our phones,
Right.
it has somewhat made content, the essence of content or art, the art form has been lost?
No, not really, bro. Not really, because this is how sometimes you show good people are full of nonsense. You understand? You can tell by the numbers you are pulling on whatever you are doing. You understand? If your content sucks, no one needs to tell you. You can tell by the numbers. You know.
Okay, so
yeah.
this new content, ne? How different is it from mainstream?
Okay, let me put it this way. Sharp, because everyone is, especially my genre, which is comedy.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're funny. Oh, we all think we're funny. Like, I'm funny. No one would admit it. I'm not funny. But other people like, can you sing? No, I can't sing. Can you dance? No, I can't dance. Can you
Make people laugh.
Can you make people laugh? Really? Everyone thinks they're funny. You understand? Because you are funny to your friends or to someone who's close to you. And then the art of comedy can be me. Sometimes it's funny, like there's stupidity. And then there's comedy. There is comedy can be broken down into many things. You remember when Sharp. Who's this guy? Student, Shefane, right?
Yeah.
Shefane, did he add messages? Did you learn something, or you were just laughing how stupid this guy is?
Yeah, probably how stupid he is.
Yeah, like you would do something so ridiculous. You like that's what we were laughing at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Now you look at Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean was what? Why was Mr. Bean funny, bro? Why do you think it became such a big phenomenon in the world, Mr. Bean?
In my personal opinion, it's because he relays information without talking, and he's it's like what would normally happen to you in real life, but then he sort of finds a way to relay that in non-verbal cues. Yeah.
Okay, so you say he was informative.
Yes.
Okay, he was entertaining,
Entertaining.
intriguing.
Very.
You understand? Exciting
Yes.
and funny.
Yes.
All right, cool. So now you see the difference with it. Not that Shefan was not funny. That was comedy because we laugh. That's what people define as comedy. We say we laugh. But if you watch Mr. Bean, Mr. Bean, you could literally watch him for hours if you had a tape and just sit there and like,
That's true.
wow. How did this guy? I'll just make an example. When there was a point where he jumped, like, fixa yonke into yakhe ne, yonke into endlini, he's ready to go to bed. He goes in and he's cuddling in. Then he's like, I forgot to switch off the globe, and he takes off this pellet gun, right? And he aims, and then he hits. I shy. Target globe and then
He destroys the globe.
He destroys the globe and goes to sleep. Now, the funny thing about it happens most of us in winter. You're in bed and you're like, light. Now, what's the most ridiculous way of solving that thing?
No, gotcha.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
I mean, I've thrown a shoe at the light switch and I've hit it once. Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, sharp. Now, all right, then people wonder why are your shoes next to the door. Right.
Exactly.
So now what I'm saying is that those are comedy, but there's two forms of comedy. And now people think, I can do comedy, I'm funny. And then they jump on whatever. Let's say put any phone in and they do comedy. And then when you come in and you're like, I believe I'm a student of comedy. I've been doing a comedy. If what do you call this? Expressive. This one, the way you move, Zimba, where you find those things. You understand?
Yep.
Yeah, I've watched that thing. I see how people do it, and I've watched the comedy. All the comedians that I've seen and I've loved, I've watched them, how they talk to people, how they engage with people. From expressive to chef and comedy, Mr. Bean solving, to verbal, to speak. How do you intrigue someone and make them keep someone laugh? Yeah, how do you keep someone listening to you? Why should someone listen to you? And now we have the cameras. I'm going to put the cameras down. Why should I listen to you? Telling me about relationships.
Watch and listen. Yeah.
Why? You have no information about what you are talking about. You are talking from your head. I can tell you are just mumbling. Have you seen someone?
Yeah, very good. Ne? So we've got a lot of content creators, right? They still get the numbers, but when you look at what they bring, you can tell that there's not much thought. But I also want to unpack it differently, where someone might not have the production value, but you can tell that what they are bringing, the content, the juice, the meat, is very, very informative.
Would you say that's the basic? They have something that, like,
yes,
the gravy and the juice.
They've got the gravy.
And the understanding what they want to put out there.
Yes, yes.
Thank
you.
So
like you said, that Mr. Bean, a couple of check boxes. Is he funny? Yes. Is he informative? Is he intriguing? Is he interesting? Etc., etc. So, my last question to you, just before we close, is that when you look at content creators, right, from YouTube now over to TikTok, there are productions in YouTube that are high quality or high value, and then there are some that are just meh, right? Same is true on TikTok. Some you can tell that there's a lot of investment that goes into a shot. Take, for example, William Last, right? Now and again, he would put out something where you can tell, like, damn, he worked.
Yes.
He worked really hard, right? And then there's also other types of TikToks out there where
they just decided to shoot and upload.
Yeah, just a point and shoot. Okay. So then with regards to that, my question is, with content creation or content creators, do you think we are moving into an era where we are quickly closing or making ground, where we are slowly getting rid of the content creators that don't put out their best? And like I said, that you don't have to have the best cameras, but then the value is in the content itself, right? That if the message is it intriguing? Yes. Let's just say the last checkbox is it a high quality, right? But then, do you think people are getting tired of Justin J, or we're still in that era where people are enjoying the reality of these TikToks because they're real? It's like when someone's walking and like the one that came out of recent that's my favorite, the tea prank, where maybe someone serves you tea, it's an empty cup, and then they pretend as if they're gonna drop it on your right
on your lap,
on your lap. So when you look at those reactions, it's real. And then there's other types of content where it's scripted, everything is just shot beautifully edited. Well,
okay. So the question is, do you think we are getting tired of less effort?
Yes.
No, it's big. This thing, man, has been through time, bro. Nothing is new under the sun, bro. You see, for example, there is a time as growing up, you think you are a soccer, you can be a soccer player.
Yeah.
And times prove that you're full of shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you move on to rugby. They knock you out, and then you go home and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not that. Then you go to choir or something like this. And then they're like, no, we need a higher note. No, that's not. Then you realize, you're gone. Yeah? And you're like, okay, so what am I? You understand? Content creation, about the beautiful thing about everyone participating on it is it will show if someone does, if you do it long enough. TikTok,
good one.
With TikTok, people who trend and people who bring in the numbers are people who are consistent with one concept. If you react to videos, stupid videos, or if you have something to say that is, we know this is, I wonder what Banele would say about this. Damn, Banele would come up with a very good solution about this. You understand? What is Banele gonna say? At Banele, people would even add you. At Banele, hey bro, say they tag you basically.
What's your thoughts, bro?
What do you think about this thing? So you understand what I'm trying to say? William Last vocally, verbally, he's not as funny.
Expression. That's his thing.
Yeah, he's Yes, he's a very expressive comedian. So that's
and he knows it, and he sticks to that.
And he stuck to that. Now I saw him. He's sponsoring by Auto Trader, Amstel. What else? He was working with Legends Barber, partnering with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? By sticking to one thing. So content creation, the beautiful part about it, you can choose one thing. The thing that when you know what every day I think about this thing. And I think about softwares. And I think about dancing. And I think about exercising. Exercise my life and you stick to it. Everyone can win. I'm thinking about business. Okay, damn, okay. I need to sell something. Where can I get? You can actually visualize and document that, right?
Yep.
And put it. So it's going to filter out. It helps everyone to filter out because it's a big pie and everyone can benefit from it. Ne? But it's not for everyone. Still.
No, like you said, time will tell.
Time will tell, bro. It will sift up of the about okay, this is not yours. When I just go home, maybe send and be home, or go to work and done. When it's fine because you cannot handle because there's criticism on the internet. There's laughter. People will mock you. So there's mental health. Some people are not fit for that. Yeah, bon. Like you said, you know, Guti, do you think Guti, we are all do we understand the basics? Because mental health is part of it. When you do something stupid on the internet, ne? And then people are dragging you all over Twitter or wherever, how do you handle it? What's your mental strategy, mental health wise? What's your strategy? You understand? I'm not in the content, bro, and then I'm jumping passing. When people look at you, when someone talks to you, when someone would come to me and say, "Yeah, we are in nonsense, man." It doesn't look like you're funny. This thing, stop doing that.
Oh.
It's not your thing. Someone actually said that in our comedy.
No, but okay. I was about to say it means they're watching.
Yeah, someone they're watching and they're like, no, just stop. I'm embarrassed on your behalf. Yeah, bro. So okay, sharp. So I feel like a content creation is gonna be like that, bro. It's beautiful because it's a piece of a pie for everyone, especially people with artistic expressions who want to express to other people, who want to teach. And the number one people who are winning content, bro, are people who are teaching. The value.
You know, the one thing that I also do realize is that, as you've mentioned, that there is different types, né? When it comes to what is real, I think people still love that.
That is true.
People still appreciate authenticity.
I do.
Yes, like for example, you can find content about, people making jokes. But if it's jokes about real life, then they relate, right? But a video about someone falling or someone doing something, where at the end of the day, it's like a funny video. People still want that. Even if it's drama, they still want that, right? Yeah. Sorry. They still want that, right? But yeah, I guess, look, there's a shift that's coming, and I don't know if we're ready.
Bro, I need to get ready for that. I need to be fit and be ready for it. Because I don't know which angle you're taking the shift, but the shift of being able to live and doing what you love.
No, but okay, yeah, cool. I also mean separating yourself as a content creator, because the pool is big, right? Yeah, it's big, and there's a lot of us in that pool. But in order for you to jump from this little pond and start swimming with the bigger fish, you're probably going to have to do something unique that someone else cannot do. And it also comes down to, do you have that unfair advantage? The one thing that you can do extremely well that other people cannot do. Right? Because I'm thinking about what I'm doing right now, that yes, I've got a history about tech. I love tech. I speak about tech, and I also have a technical background in terms of music, audio production, and so on. And whenever I do what I do, it surfaces, it comes to life. So me pulling together all of these tools just so that I can,
Damn.
because this is where the rubber meets the road in terms of being prepared. So,
bruh,
what's next? What's next for content creators?
What's next is what we talked about the other day when we said as a content creators, you must have all the attributes. You must tick all the boxes creatively. You have to be there. You understand? Okay, Sharp, you need to, let's say creatively, not necessarily go to your hands on, but creative, you need to know what is needed to cultivate a mind or my idea, to bring my idea to life in terms of your content. You do your content, let's say, of presenting, unboxing or tech, right? But someone else does it and they're adding music, which is the music that they created on themselves. They add a bit of funny. Their editing style. You see those things. I saw this guy. Oh my God, I saw this guy, bruh. He does the same thing. He previews my PCs, ne? But the way he fixes my iPhones. So what he does, the way he edits for TikTok and the way he edits for YouTube, is different. This guy literally shoots for TikTok.
I mean the attention span of people in over TikTok, it's quite low.
Yeah, people are just want something.
3 seconds. If you don't capture me in 3,
I'm gone.
I think YouTube may be different, maybe 15, 10 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Right? But if you don't capture me, then they're also gone. The other thing about TikTok is that it's easy to move on to the next TikToker because you just swipe up, right? With YouTube, you first have to go back, find a video, and then you can watch. So basically, TikTok serves you. With YouTube, yes, even though you do search and they do suggest, but for the most part, the onus is on you to select what you want to watch.
You see? Yeah, bro. So what you're saying, what's next? What's next is a person you choose and narrow down like a niche, like you're selling a business. When you grow a brand, because it's about brand, right? It's growing a brand. So you find a niche, you narrow it down, pinpoint laser, and then you find the necessary skills. What do I need to cultivate? How can I make someone look at this thing for more than 3 seconds? In less than 3 seconds. Why should I? What someone should say at him do? Let me what? 3 minutes pale. Oh, you understand? And all of those things psychologically. Okay, sharp 45 minutes for YouTube. I shouldn't do it 2 hours because I can tell what. How to, if I'm doing it 2 hours, how to make it interesting and funny so someone can stay, bro. People would go literally monotone for 2 hours.
No, I think I've taken a lot here.
Damn.
Because I'm thinking personally, the one thing I need to do is to start small, just like a little kid, bro. Can I capture your attention for 10 seconds? If yes, let me go for 15. Let me go for 20, etc., etc. And also understand how I can, or the different ways I can revive or recapture your attention. But anyway, for me, I feel like what's next is the artistic part that needs to be brought back into content creation mainstream, because everyone is doing it. There isn't that artisticness or the level of enthusiasm that goes into it, right? I think the next wave in the next 5 years will be us becoming better storytellers, because ultimately we're competing for people's eyeballs and attention. So the next wave is you becoming a exceptionally good storyteller. 100%. Very good storyteller, whether it's video, whether it's text, whether it's images, because what's great about YouTube as well is that it combines a lot of these elements together. You look at a thumbnail, it has to capture you. You look at the title of the video, it also needs to capture you. The first few seconds of the video also needs to capture you. So if you take a look at the elements there, you've got a tagline, just like newspapers where they would have that tagline, maybe 4 to 5 words, right? The thumbnail also says, look, visually speaking, can I capture your attention? Because this is how you're going to click on this video, right? And I mean, if this is advice for anyone, I want to try something new, because someone said, look, start with the thumbnail in mind, right? Start with the thumbnail, design the thumbnail, and then shoot the video.
You understand? Okay, so let's say the thumbnail here, we say things I didn't know, things I wish I knew earlier about content creation, or 5 things, or you understand? But you give something that's gonna be a question, like you're saying, that is gonna be probably answered during the video. It's interesting and like that, bro. Everyone is doing a podcast right now, right?
That's true.
But do we all really have something interesting to say?
That's the thing. I mean, you brought up an interesting point that if we start with things I didn't know, where if we were to sort of apply the element of reverse engineering, do you think you would approach it with more info this time around?
Definitely, 100%. And it now makes
it forces you to think, right?
Yes, and it's now getting interesting. Yeah, but because now I can't just jump in, but there must be, the mind is suddenly working. Okay, how can it be interesting? What is interesting? What is interesting, really? Okay, Sharp. How can I capture someone? Why should someone listen to me? Why should bro? You hear a lot of people just saying a lot of nothing. A lot of nothing. Yeah, even the biggest one, Omeg Podcast and Chill, it's coming to a point where it's like, I figured you out. People don't want to figure you out. Don't let people figure you out, bro. Even in life in general, that's when you are starting to be getting called boring. The word boring is because I've drilled and I've understand you. Whatever, there's no more substance. I've drilled so deep within you that you don't have any more substance. You are boring. There's literally, what can you tell me?
Boring.
You understand? Yeah. So now I feel like even with them, they need to switch up. You can't say, no, I'm good for it. No, you switch up. They brought strippers the other day. I was like, okay.
Like actual strippers or?
Actual strippers.
Stripping or just talking about stripping?
Stripping. They had naked people at some point.
Oh yeah, that one I did see.
Yes, they had strippers around on Meg's birthday. You see what I'm trying to say? They need to. But now the thing is that they'll find themselves going to the extreme that they can never be mundane and normal again, or they can never have anything shocking. They can, you understand? What is your that? You understand what I'm trying to say? So going back to content creation from now on, bro, from after this talk right here, right now, is to take this thing seriously in form of writing, concept, ideas, creatively. You understand? Camera work, more videography. What do I have? What is my unfair advantage? Understanding. Do I really have a voice?
Yeah.
Can you tell you about relationships? What do I know about relationships? What is it that I know that you wake me up in the morning and it's going to be accurate? Because I'm so invested in this thing that even no matter I can still have a conversation. I can give you information. I can teach you and share from you and learn something new from. What is that thing? But it seems like we go to whatever is currently a low-hanging fruit, so we think. Because everyone thinks they know about relationships. Hey, man. It's crazy, man. So anything else before you say it, bro?
Look, for me, this was very insightful, but
damn,
I want to do things also a little bit different. And I mean, maybe that's the heart that everyone needs to have, that I need to constantly make 1% or 1% improvements.
Definitely, definitely, bro.
So from now on, I'm going to start with a thumbnail in mind. In fact, I'll even design the thumbnail, right?
Bro, that is how they make movies. Back in the day, that's how they make the movie. You know what they did? They started with the finishing part. They started with how it is going to look in the end. They started with the end of a thing. I heard this guy saying, was it Brad Pitt or Denzel? Someone was talking about how to make a movie. Quentin Tarantino, YouTube.
Start with the end in mind.
You start with the end in mind.
I mean, a lot of authors will also tell you that. Start with the end in mind.
Definitely. And the concept of now, of putting content creation, is that then you work in reverse. You start with the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the what? Is the end, right? Is what you put out there for someone to capture, to grab people's attention, right? Yes. So if you start from there, ubuye, coming back with it, bro, and find and whatever they used to do in movies, we find try to put it psychologically.
Like I mean,
yeah.
if I were to say my thumbnail, I dated a stripper.
Come on, man.
Like who doesn't want to click on that?
I'll click on that and say,
Like,
this guy, what?
What?
If you're dating someone who dances on other people's legs, who's like selling their body, basically, how did you cope with that? Damn, that's crazy. And now, another again, don't think what you are winning a thumbnail with again.
I mean, the first job is done.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now I need to be like, okay, sharp. When the video starts, how do I capture their attention?
Thank you.
How do I retain their attention?
Yes.
So that's why I said that it's coming down to bringing back the artisticness.
Beautiful.
Of storytelling.
Beautiful,
right?
bro.
So I think over the next few years, but also that's, I feel like that's my homework. Yes, obviously there's a lot to improve on when it comes to the production part, making sure you sound good, you look good.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe even put makeup on, you know?
Yeah, some people's voices are annoying also.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. No, it does happen. It does happen.
You remember Slick Talk?
Yeah, no, yeah, his voice is...
His voice.
No, but I don't know if his voice is annoying because it's annoying, but...
No, forget the
he's
results.
loud.
Forget the results. He had something. His voice was annoying. You'd never listen to that for 30 minutes. You listen for it for 1-2 minutes, right? Because you want to hear what is he going to say at the end. Hear that thing. He came with the spike.
Don't you feel like just like, you know, an oil well? People drilled, okay, no, look, whatever he's going to put out, he's going to bash, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. You wanted to hear the bashing part. He was like, in these 2 minutes, I need to hear, what? Casper on your vest?
Yeah, but, I mean, if he delivers the bashing in such a way that he brings information, right? Information.
Thank you. Whenever you were listening to Sleep Talk, he would tell you something you didn't know.
Yeah, so if he brings information where it's not something that's like like a speculation of some sort, but something where you're like, oh, I didn't know that, right? Then maybe, just maybe, I'll listen.
I'll listen for that 2 minutes. You understand? So that what you are saying right now, Guti, the way I deliver, you can be knowledgeable, but still the way you speak, or like this guy, yeah, there's something about him, man.
People want substance.
Thank you.
People want substance, and you know, it's crazy how you can receive advice, but then it only takes effect a couple of years later. So I remember advice I got online. There's this guy I follow a lot, Marquez Brownlee. He said, create videos that you would want to watch.
Bro, sometimes I don't even watch my own things. That's how boring it is.
Yeah, so he says create videos.
You create and then you're like, I'll never watch this nonsense.
Create videos that you would want to watch.
Except, bro, imagine you have 30 minutes of your own video that you created. You are competing with...
like the big names.
Yes.
Maybe let's just say Marquez. There's
yes.
There's the Unbox Therapy.
Yes.
That guy's huge, eh?
I'm telling you.
Linus Tech Tips.
Yes. So if you create content with that in mind, who's doing what, who am I even if it's not the same timeline within your post on 3 p.m., right? But you have that in mind, no, I'm actually, this is my competition, Marcus. This is my competition, whoever. Because it almost like if let's say, for example, in soccer, let's make example in soccer, Amazulu. When they practice Amazulu, they're watching number one, right? Guys, fitness up. But guys, no, but it's like Royal No, but still, you need to be fit. Because you understand, that's the competition. That's the kind of level we are in the PSL right now. As Vela or whatever. So now, if we take that in mind, you'll be like, I want to create something that I can watch myself and be entertained by it.
How far are you from achieving that? Okay, do at least watch the first 5 seconds of your video.
No, bro, I don't do that.
Not even 5.
Hey, bro, it's hard watching that thing.
Not even 5.
5 seconds is too much, bro. Even editing that thing, I'm cringing the whole time.
No, but then again, if I've taken away a lot, right?
Damn.
But I guess the main thing is that now it's starting to resonate. That create something that you would want to watch, and then also bring in the artistic element. Start reading books on how to script. What are some of the words that stick with people? How do you break ice? How do you do all of these things on camera, where maybe at first it'll look and seem like you are trying too hard, right? But then maybe as time goes on, it becomes natural.
Yes, 100%. No, definitely. I'm also taking that. I'm taking everything we talked about here. I feel like we really said something, and I feel like even someone, I would actually watch this. No, it's interesting. It's like it's informative, which is something we talked about. We have there's substance to it. It's something that you like. I need to remember that. You understand? People appreciate value. We remember the wedding we were talking about. Was it? Or we're not streaming yet. No? We're not talking about the guy we had to choose between and someone he knows.
Value. Yeah.
Value that. People are looking for value.
I know, because I'm investing my time.
Yes, give me value. Yes.
After this video, will I find something?
Can I go back?
Whether it's laughter, whether it's information, whether it's news, whether it's intrigue, or just information about what's generally happening around the world, or tech products, whatever, you name it, will I find value?
Bro, Jay-Z is one of the most appreciated rappers to date because of the things that he used to say a long time ago, and the things in his artistic form, the way he used to produce it and deliver it to Ebanduni. It's something that he would say that gives value in teaching. It's informative, that you hear from